On today's show, why you're experiencing low water pressure in your home.
Who told you we're plumbers? We're plumbers.
I'm Richard Sod.
I'm John Eccles. We're back for another week, another exciting topic, talking about low water pressure. Right? What causes low water pressure? Could be one of several different things, actually, right?
That's right.
Some customers, it could be as simple as changing out your shower head, and you don't realize that nowadays they're making with these pretty little water savers that really screw you. I hate those things.
Can you say that on air?
I don't know, I just did. I hate it. I hate the water saver.
Doesn't bother me as bad.
Well, I'm a bigger guy. I got a lot more surface to clean.
So you need more gallons. You need more gallons per minute.
I need pressure. I need.
Yeah, we are in a low pressure society right now. Or wait a minute, would it be a low volume?
Well, hey, you know, the plumbing system, a lot of things are low volume nowadays.
Absolutely.
You know, and it goes to that green.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Save water.
I don't understand why.
You don't?
No, when I'm dead, I can't drink it. What the hell I care?
I'm a saver.
Not me. I'm a drinker, spiller. Leave the water running, go do something outside, come back, use up 20,000 gallons.
Oh, okay.
So, what causes low water pressure?
Could be piping.
That's probably the one that a lot of people don't realize, right? Piping in their houses. Old galvanized is the worst, right? That is the absolute biggest culprit.
So galvanized piping, what happens is the coating comes off. When the coating comes off, it produces rust on the inside, and it starts closing up the pipe. And therefore, it starts necking that pipe down on its own, and that half-inch piping will become quarter-inch.
Yeah.
3/8, stuff like that, where the volume can't get through it.
Right.
And it's a true challenge. And typically, you know, homeowners, there's several things that they can do. Partial replacements, right?
Oh, yeah.
See if that fixes it. But they have another product out where they're doing pipe coating.
Right.
They're sandblasting the inside of these pipes and then putting a epoxy type sealant on it on the interior. I would recommend against that. I have seen way too many of these homes where they don't clean them right and they still have to end up taking out pipe.
Well, once you do that, can you repair it at that point?
You have to start cutting it out.
Yeah, well, I thought it was my understanding that once you line the inside of the water pipe, you can't repair it anymore. If something needs to be done, it all has to be done again. Like, can you cut into it and make a repair?
Yes.
You can?
But wherever
Okay.
you cut into it and make a repair, you're not replacing that epoxy coating in that section.
Right, gotcha.
It just won't have that coating in it.
Right, okay, makes
Right?
sense, makes sense.
So you can do that. And a lot of times they do, because where our piping structure makes a 90 in the wall is usually where it'll bottleneck and they can't clean it.
Right.
So therefore that epoxy just covers it all up and there's no pressure and water coming out of the backside of that. So then they have to start cutting out sheetrock to cut that out and put new piping.
Is there still a lot of galvanized in Houston?
Tons. Oh
What-
yeah.
Where, is there places where it's more prevalent than others?
You're looking at the entire Heights, partial River Oaks. Some of these older homes in River Oaks do have copper.
Okay.
You know, all the way back from 1910, they have copper.
That's awesome.
Yes, it's awesome. You're west all the way through Westview, all the way through Meyerland into Bel Air.
So if I'm new to plumbing, what's galvanized pipe look like?
It is a silver color,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So if you're looking up in the attic and you see silver colored pipes, That's going to be galvanized water piping,
Gotcha.
right? And then your gas is going to be black iron, which it's exactly what it is. It's black.
All right, cool. So if they go up in there and, if they have a small leak or they notice a spot on their ceiling, they go in the attic and they notice they got silver colored looking pipe and it's not plastic, along with obviously getting the repair done because that's the immediate problem, you might want to look into the big resolution, which is taking that pipe out and getting it replaced before you have something catastrophic happen.
Catastrophic happens every day with galvanized these days.
It does.
It wasn't meant to last as long as it has. So if you're looking at Meyerland and you're looking at Bel Air and West U and the Heights, and then we got a little bit north of the Heights like Garden Oaks and Oak Forest, all of us were built around the same time.
All right.
Those homes, they didn't know how long the material was going to last, but it certainly wasn't meant to last this long.
Right.
So if you're purchasing a house or if you have low water pressure, the time is now, and especially if you get a leak. If you get a leak in your piping system, what I always tell our clientele is you get one leak. Number two, you're done. Repipe the house. Because the whole thing is about to fail and it's about to cost you a lot more money dealing with the damage that is going to create.
Well, that and just the downtime.
Or the mold or whatever else it's going to do.
Anytime anything like that happens in life, it's just, to me, it's just a headache dealing with it, right? It's just, you got the time off, the going back and forth. You rather do it on your terms.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that way you can schedule it. It's not going to be an emergency. So if you're in one of these older homes, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
Right? In fact, we got a call on that today. Individual in the Heights just bought a house,
Yeah.
and he wants a repipe. Why does he want it? Because he knows the galvanized is a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Or that he's had a leak and he just bought the house.
That's right.
Either one.
Now, not all these houses have the water pipes in the attic where it's visible, right?
That's right.
So what would be some telltale signs for customers where it's not in the attic?
If you got a pier and beam house,
Right.
the way they did it back then is they ran the galvanized under the house.
Right.
And either your water heater is going to be in the kitchen or it's going to be in the attic, typically, or it could be in the garage.
Okay.
So one of those places, and you'll be able to view it either from the attic or if you look directly underneath the house, you should be able to see it.
If there's a significant enough leak under the house, could that affect water pressure?
Sure.
Okay.
But if it is a significant leak under that house, it's going to show
Yeah.
and come out of that house.
Okay, so you'd probably see it.
You would see it,
Yeah.
typically.
Well,
Although-
not if it was 2 months ago when it was raining every third day.
Correct. Then you wouldn't know. That's exactly right. And we have had circumstances where it doesn't show up outside.
Right.
It absorbs all underneath that house. And it's not discovered till you get 2 or 3 high water bills.
Right.
Because you're trying to figure out, I got a high water bill. What was that?
Yeah.
And then the
Maybe-
next month goes around, and then, okay, I know there's a problem.
Yeah. Huh. So that's interesting. So it could be anything from new fixtures, right? It could be anything from a possible leak, type of piping, not sized right. So there's a lot of different things that can affect
A
your
lot
water
of
pressure.
variables. And then it also depends on what plumbing fixtures you picked out.
Okay.
So some of these plumbing fixtures, their flow is lower than actually what the minimum standard is for Texas.
That's right.
Or actually, is that right? The minimum standard? Or that would be the max standard. Like a
Max,
kitchen
yeah.
faucet would
Yeah.
be 175 is max.
Yeah.
So they're running at 1.25,
Right.
right?
Right.
So it could be the actual fixture problem, like you said.
Yeah. So that's something to pay
So-
attention to, I guess, if you're looking to replace your fixture and you're a water pressure hog like me, or you're on the other end, you want to be more sensible about it, make sure that you're taking a look at that on, the packaging when it tells you what kind of PSIs and pressures it's given.
That's right. People don't. They usually look at if it's pretty, it's pretty. If it's not, it's not. Okay, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
But then you could be suffering on the volume of water that you're actually going to get.
It's interesting. I think we're all learning a little something today. So,
What it's all about.
so have we ever had a call? Think about this one. Have we ever had a call where the pressure was too high?
In my career, one time.
Okay, so what was that like? Because I've never heard of it, but I figured I'd ask.
One time, this guy was complaining he had way too much pressure coming out of all of his faucets. And I found that strange. I've never had anybody complain about that. Most people want pressure.
Right.
When I'm in the shower, I want to get beat up on my back and let it just pound me in the back, right? It makes my back feel better.
Right.
But this guy was adamant. He just had too much pressure. And I found that very strange, but the way that we did and fixed that is we put a pressure reducer before it went in the house. And I could regulate how much pressure went in the house, and I regulated it down. And therefore, he didn't have that volume and pressure coming out of the fixtures.
Here's something that I'm sure that everybody would love to know. What's typical pressure going into a home?
In Houston, you'll find it between 35 to 55
Right.
PSI.
Yeah.
And that's typical. Have we seen it a little bit less than 35? Yes. Have I seen it more than 55? Very rare.
Right.
Now they're building a ton of homes, as you guys are aware of, in the Heights, Montrose, Westview, splitting up lots, and it is in certain areas taxing our main water supply. And I have seen it when it's lower than 35. And if you're going to do a 4-story home and you're lower than that 35, it isn't going to work.
Yeah, you're not getting water up there.
You're not getting the pressure.
Yeah. So okay, and I'm sorry to keep going on with these questions. I just find this very interesting because some of it I don't know, and Richard has a lot more experience in this. So how does that work? If they continue to build homes, and do they have to put up more water towers? How do they maintain that pressure?
Same problem with engineering in a home, right?
Right.
If the line becomes undersized due to the fact there's more people going into it, right, and they're using more volume of water,
Right.
they have to upsize their lines, and they might have to excavate who knows how far back to get to a larger line, and then they just increase the line.
And that's
They
kinda
cannot increase that pressure.
typical? Okay.
They have to increase the diameter of the piping
Right. Okay.
to be able to achieve what you need to achieve.
Gives you the volume.
Right.
Okay.
Which they won't, which means you got to put a pump on your own house.
Well, see, out where I live in northeast Harris County on the other side of Lake Houston, and our community is on a community well, and it's undersized. And we've had problems several times when too much demand, well, it can't put out enough. So if everybody's up at the same time or whatever the case is.
Yeah. You got 30 homes taking a shower at one time.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden there's issues.
Yeah, well, last year, one of the pumps went out, and it took them forever to get the parts to replace it, and for weeks, the water pressure was zilch. It stunk really bad. So you had to shower when everybody else was asleep, 3 a.m., 2 a.m.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Interesting.
Really bad. It was bad.
And the water didn't smell good?
No, it was fine. That was fine. It's just one of the pumps went out, so it wasn't
It
delivering.
didn't have the pressure and flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Understand.
So, I guess, with all that being said, if you're having water pressure issues, right, or any of the things that go along with it, you're thinking about changing out your shower head or your kitchen faucet or whatever it is, and you're just not sure, you can always call us. We're
right.
always at the office, one phone call away. We'll give you all the answers that we can give you.
And sometimes we're not sure either.
Yeah, sometimes we have to do a little research.
But I know where to get answers.
Absolutely, So again, if you have those questions, please give us a call. We'd love to help you out and point you in the right direction.
Absolutely. John, Richard, we're in the office all the time. Give us a call.
See y'all next week.
Thank you.